أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
You know, the best way to describe Abdullah ibn Mas'ud's knowledge was as Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi described it. Imam Awza'i rahmatullahi alayhi met Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi in Mecca. Imam Awza'i was the Imam of the people of Sham. He was from Beirut originally. Imagine Imam Awza'i being from Beirut, Beirut being Beirut. So Imam Awza'i rahmatullahi alayhi was the Imam of Sham. He met Imam Abu Hanifa in Darul Hannatin, a place in Mecca. So when he met Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi, he said to him, "Ma lakum ya ahl al-Iraq, la tarfa'una aydikum fi as-salah." He said to Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi, he said, "Oh Abu Hanifa, what is it with you people of Iraq that you do not raise your hands in salah?" Famous point of difference. The people of Sham, Imam Awza'i was of the opinion that you should raise your hands before the ruku' and after the ruku' in salah. Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi and the scholars of Iraq in general, they would not raise their hands in salah, and that's the position of the Hanafi fiqh and the Maliki fiqh. Remember, it's a question of sunnah, not a question of karaha or obligation. So Imam Awza'i rahmatullahi alayhi said to Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi, "Ma lakum ya ahl al-Iraq, what is it with you people of Iraq, you do not raise your hands in salah before ruku' and after ruku'?" When Ibn Shihab al-Zuhri related to us, Awza'i says, Ibn Shihab al-Zuhri related to us from Salim, the son of Abdullah ibn Umar, from his father Abdullah ibn Umar, who said Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would raise his hands in salah before ruku' and after ruku'. So he mentioned the whole chain. He said, "Why don't you raise your hands? What's wrong? What is it with you people of Iraq that you don't raise your hands?" When Ibn Shihab al-Zuhri related to us from Salim, from his father Abdullah ibn Umar, who says the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would raise his hands in salah before ruku' and after ruku'. So Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi said, the reason is because nothing categorical has been related about this from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. In fact, he said that first. Ibn Shihab al-Zuhri said, Awza'i said, "Why don't you raise your hands?" Imam Abu Hanifa said, because nothing categorical has been related to us from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And what he meant by categorical is nothing absolute without qualification or without contradicting evidence that would make it obligatory. So Awza'i said, "What do you mean nothing categorical has been related?" When Ibn Shihab al-Zuhri related to us from Salim, from Abdullah ibn Umar, that the Prophet ﷺ raised his hands in salah before ruku' and after ruku'. So Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi said, and Hammad ibn Abi Sulaiman related to us from Ibrahim al-Nakha'i, from Alqamah, from Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu, that the Prophet ﷺ would raise his hands in the beginning of salah and would not raise them again. And this chain of narration, Imam Nasa'i, the ulama have a saying, they call them Salasil al-Dhahab, meaning chains of narration that are gold. Golden chains of narration in hadith. Some ulama say, golden chain of narration in this hadith is Malik, relating from Nafi', relating from Abdullah ibn Umar, from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Others say other narrations. Imam Nasa'i rahmatullahi alayhi, the famous scholar of hadith, he says the golden chain of narration, the best chain of narration in hadith, the best chain of narration is Ibrahim al-Nakha'i relating from Alqamah, relating from Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. In any case, Imam Abu Hanifa related this hadith and chain of narration. So Awza'i said, "Oh Abu Hanifa, I relate to you from Ibn Shihab al-Zuhri, from Salim, from Abdullah ibn Umar, and you relate to me from Hammad, from Ibrahim al-Nakha'i, from Alqamah, from Abdullah." Meaning, how can you compare the two? So Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi said, as far as Hammad is concerned, Hammad was a greater faqih than Ibn Shihab al-Zuhri. He was a greater jurist than Ibn Shihab al-Zuhri, the first narrator. He matched him with the first narrator. Then Imam Abu Hanifa said, as far as Ibrahim al-Nakha'i is concerned, Ibrahim al-Nakha'i was a greater faqih and jurist than Salim, the son of Abdullah ibn Umar. And as far as Alqamah is concerned, and look at the words of respect of Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi, he said, as far as Alqamah is concerned, even though Abdullah ibn Umar has the greater virtue for being a companion of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Alqamah was no less a faqih and no less a jurist than him. The words of respect. Even though he had the honor and privilege of being the companion of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, meaning Abdullah ibn Umar, Alqamah was no less a faqih and jurist than him. So Imam Abu Hanifa proved that these three were greater jurists or equal jurists than the other three that Awza'i had mentioned. But then there is one person that remains. Imam Abu Hanifa matched Ibn Shihab al-Zuhri with Hammad ibn Abi Sulaiman. And then the narrator above him, he matched Salim, the son of Abdullah ibn Umar, with Ibrahim al-Nakha'i. And he matched Abdullah ibn Umar with Alqamah, the student of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. And then there remains one person, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu. How did Imam Abu Hanifa describe him? And this is why I say, this is the only way to describe him, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. After mentioning these three, finally he said to Awza'i about Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, wa Abdullah, Abdullah. And Abdullah ibn Mas'ud is Abdullah.